Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a 2022 novelty that IWC vows will be built in no more than 1,000 examples per model year. So this is a watch limited by production, if not by edition number. It's the IWC Pilot's Watch Chronograph Top Gun Edition Woodland. It's the reference 3891-06. And while the name and the color might suggest a conservation theme, IWC assures us this is the color of flight suits worn by naval aviators who attend the Naval Fighter Weapons School Top Gun. Now, the watch itself is IWC's first ever dark green ceramic case. It's 44.5 millimeters in diameter, 15.8 millimeters thick, 53.6 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, and it has a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll zoom out a little bit, throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and I would recommend you have a wrist of at least my size or larger to wear this. You can see the lugs really do push right out to the edge. They're not quite over the edge, but they're very close, meaning there's not a lot of margin to put this on a smaller wrist, so you're going to want to put it on a wrist of my size or preferably even larger. That said, with a combination of titanium, sapphire, and ceramic, it's not very heavy for its size. Now, the watch includes a strap that is thick vulcanized rubber with textile, flight suit style, or if you're an old Navy guy, sea bag style. On the top, you can see that there's a gusset molded in so you won't gouge the textile material itself. It's quite robust, it's water resistant, and with a combination of that strap, a screw down crown, and a 60-meter rating, you can absolutely take this watch swimming on the surface. Brogioli supplies the pin buckle itself, which, like the case back, is made of darkened titanium. And then the case itself is ceramic, which has a number of desirable qualities. First, it is a little bit lighter than metal, most metal. And second, it is extremely scratch resistant to the point where these watches rarely ever pick up any kind of marks. And we know because IWC has been making them for decades, and even the earliest ceramic pilot chronos from the early 90s are still remarkably free of any kinds of scratches, swirls, or marks of wear. And you know when buying one of these pre-owned that it's never been refinished, because refinishing is not a thing with ceramic. IWC wisely decided that a sort of matte media blasted profile was going to be the most appropriate. It's anti-glare and it has a subdued quasi-military look. You can see the bezel is dramatically stepped in from the case band to impart the look of a thinner watch. These are not screw-down chronograph pushers, but they are shouldered for better bracing against shock and impact and shearing. You can see the IWC logo and the company motto, Probus Scafusia, on the crown. And then on the dial side, we have a lovely sort of rusticated or roughed, it's a sort of, I would call it a granular finish in woodland green. And we'll do a quick Lume shot because you can already tell this is an unconventional tone of Luminova, but it doesn't really take a toll on legibility as it's quite bright even when the lights go out. You can see the four corners as well as the broadsword style hands are well loomed. The sub-registers each feature a concentric pattern inboard. We have chronograph minutes, we have chronograph hours, then we have constant seconds. The watch, of course, is a day and a date, and you can see that when I screw the crown out, I've got some subsidiary setting modes. That's stop seconds. And then I have a double quick set capability. In the intermediate position, by turning in different directions, I can set the day and the date. The movement inside is the Valfleurier developed IWC 69380, which was designed as a drop-in replacement and technical upgrade from the older Valjoux 7750. Flip the watch over and the first thing you see is the Top Gun logo. And while that is the name of the Navy program, that is actually the logo of the 1980s and now 2022 Top Gun movie series. Taking a quick look around the back, you can see serial number, International Watch Co., and of course 6 bar, that's your 60-meter water resistance. Inside, we have a combination of a anti-displacement security, which means if you're in an aircraft cabin that explosively decompresses, the crystal and the seals will not be displaced, but we also have the movement itself. It's an automatic winder which uses a bidirectional Paul-based magic lever-like winding system to energize a 46-hour power reserve. It has the stop seconds, the double quick set, it beats away at 8 beats per second. It uses a combination of a crisp column wheel for function cycling, which is a traditional way of making a chrono. The old 7750 used a cam, so this is a technical upgrade in that regard. It's adjusted in an impressive 5 positions, which is the high horology and chronometer standard. It pivots on 33 joules, and it uses a rather unusual clutch system. It's fundamentally a lateral clutch, but an oscillating pinion uses a very small driving pinion with very little inherent play. So when you press and hold to start the chronograph, there's almost no extraneous movement. It's just about as solid and seamless as a vertical clutch. And because this watch has a movement that takes after the 7750, Valflurier, which is a Richemont movement factory that works with many Richemont brands, they decided to keep the oscillating pinion from the 7750 for functional and packaging reasons, and I'm actually glad that it is there. The movement, of course, is assembled and tuned in Schaffhausen in northeastern Switzerland, so it's still very much a German-Swiss watch inside and out. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.